So hello everyone, welcome to GK's community. So in last video we discussed about what is type 1 error and type 2 error, and before that before that video we talked about p value. So in this video we are going to discuss broadly about what is one-sided two-sided test. Uh, so basically, what is the one side and two sided test? So this means, as we can see here, this binomial distribution curve. So we have a one side and two sided test. So as we can see in the curve, there is a two sides. Okay, this positive side and negative sides. Okay, this is important in sample size calculations. Okay, so during your sample size calculation, you must mention whether you are going to test one side or two side. So I am going to discuss this with some examples. Okay, so basically we have a one side and two sided test, right? So what is this one side? One, it is otherwise called as one tail or two tail test. As we can see in the curve, one tail and two tail test. Okay, so basically this is the curve where you should mention in the sample size calculation, as you are going to take your study as a one directional or bidirectional. Okay, so that is one sided and two sided. So okay, for example, you must mention in the sample size calculation, like you are going as unidirectional or bidirectional. Okay, so what is this unidirectional, bidirectional? How should I mention in the sample size calculation? So basically, in one-sided test, for example, you are seeing a difference between contact lens and spectacles for correcting the refractive error. Okay, so this is the study example. So your null hypothesis is going to, there is a no difference between spectacles and contact lens. Okay, so what is your alternate hypothesis? There is a some difference between spectacles and contact lens. Okay, so this is bidirectional study. Bidirectional means, so the refractive error is corrected more effectively by the spectacles then contact lens, or contact lens then spectacles. So this is the bidirectional study. As we can see, there is a difference between these two. Okay, but in case of unidirectional, if you take study as a one-sided tail test, that means you are going to make a null hypothesis as there is a no difference in contact lens. So if you're taking your test as a one-sided, okay, your alternate hypothesis will be contact lens is better than the spectacles. Okay, but if your study results comes as spectacles is better than contact lens, your alternate hypothesis fail. So your test statistics is failed to reject the null hypothesis. Instead of it is accepting the null hypothesis, showing that contact lens is not better. Okay, so better you have to take as a two-sided. It is ideal, but it's not a mandatory. You can take one tail also. Okay, so in sample size calculation, if you are taking one-sided test, you have to write z value. Z value means it is a critical value. It will show how far your value is from the in the units of standard deviation. Okay, so basically this z score, z value, you have to take if you're taking two-sided test. Okay, so you have to mention z value is equal to 1.96. That is a critical value, as you see in the picture here. uh, so if you are taking one-sided test, you have to write whether you're taking as a negative side, whether you're taking as a positive side. Mostly study will take a positive, most studies will take positive sides, so plus 1.6. In case of two-sided, you have to write 1.96. Okay, is that value. So basically, this is the difference between one-sided and two-sided. Most of the studies, they will take bidirectional, that is two-sided tail test, where it is not mandatory to take two-sided. One side can be taken, but if the values fall in the opposite direction, that will leads to non-significance of your results. Okay, so better to take two-sided test. Okay, so basically this is the difference between this. As we can see in the picture, it's a summarization of the what we discussed here. So this is the difference between one side and two side test, so in which we have to take what is z value. So in next video we are going to see about what is effect size. Okay, how it's important, why it is important.